So y'all, I just got my mammogram done. Let me tell you, if you go in and you're not feeling any pain, you're gonna feel it when you leave. But it's important to get it. I didn't get the 3D because if my insurance didn't pay for it, then I would be stuck with a $150 bill, and I'm not gonna get it unless they feel I need to have that done. So y'all, get your boobs checked, okay? Good morning. How are you guys doing today? So I hope you are having a great Tuesday. I wanted to come on and tell you I'm wishing you the very best in whatever it is you're trying to get done this week, that it all gets done. I know it can become overwhelming at times, but if we push through, we will make it. Got myself together since this morning. It was so exciting to get eggs. I did not think that I would be getting eggs until next year, only because I knew that when it was time for them to lay eggs, which is now, I figured, well, it'd be too cold and they would not want to lay eggs. But I've been doing this thing that a farmer told me, and he said to put cayenne pepper or the pepper flakes in their water, and this will trick their bodies into thinking that it's still warm outside, because it'll heat things up. And y'all, I don't know if that's working, but I think it did, because when I opened it up and I saw those 8 eggs in there, I said, oh, hallelujah, we got some eggs. I've been waiting for some farm fresh eggs, because you know we're still dealing with all of these shortages, and I'm seeing other people post pictures of the eggs in their stores and how they are empty, or if they're there, the prices are starting to shoot back up. This is no surprise though that we're dealing with this when it comes to the eggs, because if you cold chickens, what do you think we get from chickens? We get the meat, of course, but we get the eggs, so those will be affected as well. And I also did a story about right after they did that culling of all the millions of birds, a truck overturned in Texas and it spilled 35,000 eggs, ironically, huh? So y'all, keep prepping so you'll have what your family needs. And what else is going on? Let me see. So we know that grain is trying to be exported again. However, Russia has, on Saturday, the Big Roo, that's what I'm going to start calling it, the Big Roo, backed out of that whole grain deal to allow them, Ukraine, to use the Black Sea. But I just read that Ukraine just sent a few ships with grain on it. I think it was 12 ships with grain on it, even though the Big Roo backed out of it. So you guys, I don't know if they will attack those ships or not. We shall see. And then on the home front, we're still dealing with all of the high prices that we're dealing with. We're dealing with the possibility of diesel shortage, the possibility of railroad strikes. I'm also starting to see more and more empty shelves appear in stores where they have been getting deliveries, because you know an influx of things have been coming in, especially in Walmart, of the non-food rather. Those things have been coming in surplus. So you're seeing a lot of clearance items. Most Walmarts now are pushing those clearance items to the front just so it can hit people right off the bat and hopefully get them out of the store. But I do expect that they will have some kind of sale going on, because they gotta recoup their money. Right now they don't want to lose any money, so they aren't pushing it, but eventually they will be pushing it. Back orders are either not being filled or they are canceling those orders in the stores. I also let you guys know that there has been a recall voluntary by the Abbott company who produces the formula, and now Pedialyte is on the list too. But what I was noticing after reading some of the comments, they didn't have New Mexico, or yeah, they didn't have New Mexico in there with the shortage, but we always seem to have that shortage going on. So I expect to see the news tamping in on that once they see more and more of content creators doing stories on things. Then they jump on it as if they were the first one on the scene, and you know, rightfully so. They have the accredited stamp of approval behind them. But we all know that we see these things, they're just not reporting on them until they decide it's worthy news to report on. I'll be showing you how you can grow your food in containers if you don't have space for a raised bed. I will even show you how you can grow your food without a container. So stay tuned for those videos to come, because it's very important to figure out different ways that we can grow depending on where we are, how much space we have, and you know, if you're renting, if your landlord will even allow you to do it. So these ways will help you grow a little bit of food to sustain you. Now, will it get you through everything? No, it will not. So you need to be stocking up your canned goods, stocking up on your meat, and definitely your medications. Do that as well. In health news, they aren't really talking about COVID numbers as much as they were. I wonder why. I don't know. Anyway, but they are talking about the flu and how many outbreaks we are having with the flu here in North Carolina, South Carolina. I think they even had an infant death from the flu. Personally, I have not gotten a flu shot in probably over 10 years. I just decided not to, because it seems like when I was getting it, it made it more easy for me to get the flu. That's just my thoughts on it. Last year, my youngest child had it, but none of us got it. And it wasn't that bad when they had it, and they have severe asthma. So another thing you should be getting stocked up on with your medications, of course, the flu medicines, the over-the-counter medicines, the Advil, Tylenol. Those things have been flying off the shelf. Every time I look, they barely have any stocked up. So get those items, fever reducers. Look up home remedies of things that you can take and do that are natural. So today being November 1st, this starts my 30-day stock up. Woo woo! I'm so excited for it, because I'm not stocking this up for my home. I am still going to be stocking my home and getting the items that I need, but I am setting aside, and I had to think about it because prices have gone up, and this is what you're going to have to do with your own household when you're stocking up, is you're going to have to increase your food budget for your long-term and your working pantry. So that is what I have done, and I will be doing, instead of $25 a week, I will go anywhere from $25 to $40 a week, depending on what I am purchasing, because I want to be able to get the most bang for my buck. And these items will be going to, those items will be going to a food bank, a 30-day supply. Hopefully it will help and bless some families who may need it. I'm going to be looking at items that are simple and easy, that will last a good bit of time on the shelf. So I won't, if I get milk, it will be like the Gosner milk, you know, the shelf stable milk, or the powdered milk. Also, for the month of December, I am adopting a family for Christmas, maybe a family of 3 or 4, depending on what my finances look like. And I will be doing that, and I told you guys about that maybe in May or June, and if you wanted to contribute, you could. I haven't had a lot of people contribute, and that's fine, because I'm still going to adopt that one family. But if I had people contributing, I would adopt more than that one family. but my finances will only allow me to do one. So you guys, find some way you can help out the community, because we all are going to need each other during this hard economic times. People are losing their jobs, people are getting laid off, people are cutting their hours. It's a lot. I am noticing that certain restaurants have been closing early, and I'm very shocked at this particular restaurant that is closing early, because they seemingly never have a staffing issue, and I think that is the reason, is a staffing issue. So I noticed this maybe 2-3 weeks ago, maybe, when I was taking my husband to the truck stop. One of the Chick-fil-A's, well, we only have one that we have to pass by, they're usually open till around 11 o'clock, but they have been closing before 9 o'clock. And that's major, because, you know, Chick-fil-A stays crowded. So it's not a thing of, well, they don't have, you know, the food, they don't have their ingredients there. I haven't run into that with them. But staffing, I'm starting to see more signs posted that we are hiring and we are paying this amount of money. Mind you, most of the kids, well, most of the people there are kids. So maybe the parents are like, no, too many hours. The reason I say maybe the parents are saying too many hours, I don't want my child working that many hours, and they have school in the morning, so they can't be there that late, because that happens. My first job as a teen was my 12th grade year of high school, and it was at a Burger King. And everyone knows that Burger King is the late night party spot for, you know, because everything else is closed after 12 o'clock. Burger King stays open. Well, being a teen, they weren't supposed to be working me past a certain hour, but every night that I worked past a certain hour, to the point where my mom was like, you can't keep that job, because I'm having to come pick you up at 1 and 2 in the morning, and you got to get up and go to school, you know, at 7, 8 o'clock. So that could be some of the situation that's taking place. Who knows? I think my last story is going to be about the whole Walmart closing and stores closing. So I told you that there is a Walmart that is closing on Veterans Day, November 11th. If you haven't seen that video, please go back and check that video out for that location. And I also told you about a month or two ago about 90 stores closing. FedEx closing 90 of their satellite locations and things like that. I also told you that they are threatening to not work for Black Friday. So that threat is still on. I just read an updated article on that, and they are still threatening to walk out and not be available for Black Friday. So that might be setting shoppers into a spin for getting packages. So if you are wanting to know more about the 90 stores that are closing for FedEx, check that video out as well. It will be probably somewhere down in my description box, or it will be in my playlist for store closings. And at almost the beginning of the year, well, really about spring, I told you that 150 Walmart stores will be closing, and that has absolutely been happening. More and more Walmarts have been closing. Now, I have seen some Walmart marketplaces opening up. One in particular, I didn't even know it was there, so I will go check that store out one day for you guys so we can see what it looks like in there. Is it somewhere in the mountains? So I really didn't see it. It was kind of back off from the street. There was no big major sign that would say there is a marketplace Walmart sitting here, but I just happened to see it that day. So we're going to check that out. Y'all take care, have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.